We are going to start a new series called Faithbook. Okay, and you see the thing here, there. And there's a guy named Mark Zuckerberg, and he designed this for us like number of years ago. And he kind of used that as a kind of prototype for his company first. And then now we're using it for its original purpose for this series, Faithbook. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Christian faith. It kind of spontaneously connected to what we talked about last month. We did talk about, we did have a series called The Tough Questions, and we dealt with some tough questions we may encounter in our Christian life. And it is more about, for this reason, it is hard for me to have a faith. But this series, it is more about what is then Christian faith. And we're going to talk about that from Book of Genesis as we pursue this guy who has a nickname. What kind of name it is? It is Father of Faith. Isn't that amazing? Father of Faith. That's a nickname this guy got. Father of Faith. You know who that is? Abraham. Yeah, we're going to pursue his life and talk about Christian faith from his journey. New series, excited? Thank you. Yeah, 3 of you. Thank you. Okay, let's jump into today's passage, which is Book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1 to 9. It's in your bulletin. It's on the screen. And it's everywhere in your Bible too. I'm going to read the passage to you, so please follow, come along with me, with your eyes, in your mind. Okay, the Lord has said to Abraham, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." So Abraham went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old, and when he set out from Haran, he took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. And they arrived there. Abraham traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh at Shechem. At the time the Canaanites were in the land, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he went on toward the hills east of Bethel, and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abraham set out and continued toward the Negev. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 to 9. Okay, before we talk about faith, Christian faith here, or the type of faith Abraham showed to us from the text, one thing I like to point out is that what Abraham did here is very, I'll say, unusual. Okay, maybe you may think like, okay, God appeared in your dream. Just imagine it. Okay, and then say, draw. He must have this Yahweh echo, right? He's God, so draw. No. I have something to tell you, right? Probably before he showed up, he probably had a little choir, angels of choir singing, hallelujah, hallelujah. Here's Yahweh, all that, and everything, this kind of godly Yahweh-ly, whatever. And then God is saying, here's the land I want you to go. So tomorrow you leave your family, leave your land, leave your home, and go there. What would you do after having that dream? Come on, what would you do? You go like, one thing for sure is this. You'll probably call me. Pastor Sonny, I just had this dream. I'm not sure if this is real, you know. And then if I say, "Yeah, I think that's real. I think this God's call, from above to you," then you'll probably go like little thinking because you have a lot to, think through, right? It's not that you get up in the morning, you can just move, right? It's impossible. You got a lot of things going on in your life. So, and you got to ask your wife or you got to ask your husband. You don't really ask your husband, but husbands usually ask wife, right? Anyway, that's got to happen too. You got to think about schools and stuff for your kids. A lot of things to think through. So it is not really that, I don't know, easy decision to make. But by then, in Abraham's time, it was very, very, very extremely hard. Obviously, it's not really about Abraham. He doesn't have a kid, so it's not really about his kid's school, okay? It's not about his job. He didn't have some sort of like job at the FedEx or, I don't know, Microsoft or something like that. It wasn't about his job. It wasn't about his children's school. It is even more important. It is about more important things than that, which is land and family. Ancient times, in Abraham's time, what is the most important things in that time? Family and land. Why? Because if you want to survive, you need those two things. Number one, you need land. Why do you need land? Because you can do a little farming there to get food out of it. Or if you have some like flock, animals, then you still need land to have them on, right? So land is very, very important. Land is crucial. Land is the most important thing in your life if you live that time, ancient time. And number two is family. Why? Because like nowadays you have one wife, two kids, or three, for max 7, 8. Is that why? No, and those children are so precious to you like that. No, not really that way. Family is important. Why? Because family means labor, right? So let's have you have land, but you're alone. Can't do anything about, making food out of the land. You need people. You need labor. You need, hands. You need workable tools. So family is important. So land, family, those two things are the most important things in your life in ancient time. Now God is showing up to Abraham and saying, go, leave your family, leave your land. It sounds maybe to you like maybe you've heard the story like too many times already, but this is very serious call. God is saying those two things you value most, you got to leave them. You leave them. But it's kind of interesting. Why? Because for the return, what God is promising here is the same thing. Same thing, but higher quality and higher quantity. He's saying, you know what? I'm going to give you a land. And then plus, I'm going to make you a nation, which means it's not that like my house, like Sunny Nation. That's what I call my family, okay? Because I am the king of the nation. It's not like that, okay? Here, nation means a lot of people. So what God is promising here is you leave your family and your land, but I'm going to promise you this new land and family, way bigger, in a way better than what you had before. Now, Abraham is moving toward that call. He's leaving his family. He's leaving his land. But if you think about it, has Abraham seen this land before? God is promising? No, he's never seen it. It's not that like he can't do the like internet access, like checking out web surfing. Okay, promised land. Ooh, promised land. I like it. I'm gonna go. No, he's never seen it before. Has he ever seen this medical case of Yahweh working with somebody's family and getting child out of it? No. It's something he's never seen, something he's never experienced before. But he's still going forward that way. God's calling. And we call this guy, Abraham, father of faith. One thing for sure is this. When we call certain thing faith, it actually means if you risk more important things in your life for that value called faith, it is actually so-called higher, mature, more, I mean, better faith. Why? Obviously, you risk more important thing. It actually means your faith is more real. So we can actually learn that from this story. Abraham risked very important things in his life as he believes God's call and as he takes his journey. Now, we have to see then, how this story kind of ends up. I don't know about you guys, but I travel sometimes, and rarely I travel for fun and to see the things that I kind of wanted to see, like attractions. If you go to Paris, let's say, if you go to Paris, what are the things you have to see? Come on. Eiffel Tower, thank you. Anything else? Good. Okay, those two things. Yeah, Paris is all about those two things, okay? Anyway, but if you go to a certain place, you can find, attractions, things you have to check out, right? And that's why you get a traveler's guidebook or do the internet check so that you don't want to miss out those attractions and stuff. And I saw this thing on my Facebook, SNS, and it is a post about what you imagine before you travel to a certain place. You imagine what it would be really, what your experience would look like, but the reality turns out to be a little different. Okay? So I'm going to show you one by one. Visiting the Great Wall of China. Okay. Any of you been to Great Wall before? No? Okay. 2, 3. Okay, good. Maybe it's too great for you. I don't know. So visiting the Great Wall of China, then you imagine this. Well, look at the sunset. Maybe it's sunrise, I don't know. And whoa, that's great, right? Amazing. But the reality you're gonna face once you get there looks like this. You're forgetting something. China has a lot of people. It's well known for Great Wall, but it is also well known for great population. Yeah, so this is what you're actually getting into. You see the difference between expectation and reality, right? How about this one? Taking photos with the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. And we imagine this. Isn't that, any of you been there before? Yeah, a few of you, right? I've been there before too. It's kind of amazing. Well, like everybody who goes there does that, right? Right? Somehow, I gotta admit this. I just saw the Avengers, okay? The very first one, not the new one. This week, it passed by. I don't know. Somehow, anybody who goes to this Tower of Pisa, they feel like, I want to prove that I have a superpower. and at least to take a photo of that. Anyway, so this is what you imagine. Okay, this is it. I'm going to do this. But the reality you're going to face into is this. I know, like bunch of very strange people, right? And how about this one? Admiring Mona Lisa in Louvre Museum, Paris, France. Oh, this is an amazing museum. I've been here before too. But we all imagine that I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna look at that lady in that painting, and I'm gonna think about my life. Okay? That beautiful masterpiece of art gonna change my life. I'm gonna have this moment, right? This is what we imagine, this is what we expect. But the reality happens this way. Michael Jackson is here, right? Bunch of people taking photo. How about this one? Having a picnic near the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. And we imagine this. Oh, look at this. Oh, isn't that lovely? That's beautiful. And that's what we have in our expectation. But the reality you're gonna encounter is this. It's like some sort of refugee center here. Learning a new hobby on a ski trip. Ooh, look at, we imagine ourselves doing that, but the reality happens this way. Yeah. Sunbathing in the famous beach of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ooh, look at this. Huh? We all imagine that, but the reality happens like this. Taking a peaceful gondola ride in Venice, Italy. Okay? This is what we imagine. You're in Venice, singing, you're listening to my singing, traveling on the water. Okay, I'll stop. This is what you imagine, right? But the reality happens like this. A line of boats, all singing together, very noisy. Relaxing on the gorgeous beaches of Maldives. And we imagine this. But the reality happens like this. I know. Yeah, disappointing. Walking around Santorini Island. Ooh, Santorini, Greece. We all imagine this. Ooh, white, blue. Just amazing weather. But the reality looks like this. Bunch of people filling up. Checking out the breathtaking glory of Taj Mahal, India. Ooh, we all imagine this amazing view, but the reality happens other way, like this. Enjoying your private moments of the beaches of Thailand. And we imagine this, but the reality happens like this. Yeah. Admiring the Trevi Fountain in Rome, Italy. We all imagine this, but the reality happens this. Bunch of people. Watching the Stonehenge during the sunset, United Kingdom. We imagine this, but the reality looks like this. Yeah. Visiting pyramids of Giza in Cairo, Egypt. Look, we imagine this, but the reality happens like this. Yeah. And climbing Mount Everest, Nepal. We imagine this. Ooh, that's me right there, right? Just admiring this greatness of nature. But what we happen to face in reality, like this. Hanging out at the Spanish Steps in Italy with your sweetheart. We imagine this. Romantic. But the reality looks like this. Admiring Little Mermaid in Copenhagen, Denmark. We imagine this, but the reality looks like this. Almost there. Enjoying St. Peter's Square before entering the beautiful basilica in Vatican City. We imagine this. This is in our imagination, but the reality we encounter this. I was actually standing in one of the lines there before, yeah. And walking in a sheep meadow in New York Central Park, United States. We imagine this peaceful park and in the middle of the city, but the reality we happen to face looks like this. Okay, the very last one. Visiting the Acropolis of Athens, Greece. We imagine this, but reality, it looks like this. Yeah. I was there too. Like, can you see me right there? Very back? Anyway. But what I'm trying to say here is this, when you imagine something, you have a certain expectation. If you think about it, God appears to Abraham's dream, or maybe it's not dream, it's real, I don't know. But he hears this amazing thing. Go, I'm going to show you this promised land. I'm going to make you a nation. Isn't that amazing? He must be excited. He's like, yay, this is it. I'm going to go. But you know what really happens in his life? I'd like to show you the very last part of his life that appears in the book of Genesis. It's chapter 25, verse 7 to 10. It goes like this. Abraham lived 175 years old. That's long life, right? Then Abraham breathed his last and died at a good old age, an old man and full of years, and he was gathered to his people. Now, if you remember the promise God made to him, he's supposed to have a great nation, and he's supposed to have a huge chunk of land, right? But this is the last moment of his life. What's happening here? His sons, Isaac and Ishmael, just two of them. He had more sons actually after Sarah died, but he sent these other sons over to the east side of the country so that his sons don't have too much trouble with each other. So what really happened at the last moment of his life, he got only two sons, Ishmael and Isaac. Buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre in the field of Ephron, son of Zoar the Hittite. The field Abraham, this is the important part, had bought from the Hittites, which means, is that his land or a little portion of land he purchased from other people? Other people, right? It's not his land. He purchased a small portion of it. There, Abraham was buried with his wife, Sarah. Where's the big land? Where's the big nation? This is the last moment of his life. Obviously, throughout the Bible, God fulfills his promise. He's, giving him his descendants, a big nation, Israel, right? And then land of Canaan too. But if you ask me that question, I want Harley Davidson so much, okay? I don't really want it, but let's say I do want it, okay? I'm a big biker. I want to have a tattoo, I am Rider Sonny, okay? Anyway, I want Harley Davidson, and I pray hard. I have belief, I have faith, okay? And according to this system, what's going to happen to you or me is this. I pray hard, I have faith that God's going to give me that Harley Davidson, and he promised that I'm going to give you Harley Davidson. But what really happened is, in the end of my life, very last moment, God is saying, you know what? I'm going to give that Harley Davidson to your grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren. Do you think that's going to excite me? Yay, finally, I got my grandchildren's grandchildren. Harley Davidson, yay, good for you, my grandchildren. Yay. That doesn't excite me at all, right? What's going on here? What you expect doesn't match the reality. What I'm trying to say here is God fulfills his promise. Christian faith, when we talk about Christian faith, some people say it is about you have faith, you're going to get it. It doesn't work that way. That's not Christian faith. Then what is Christian faith? Why do we even have faith? What is our faith all about? Didn't we learn that, if you pray hard, if you do what you can do, if you have enough faith, then you're going to get what you want. Isn't that what we usually heard, elsewhere? But look at this story. Even man of faith, the father of faith, did he get what he actually, he was promised to get? Eventually, yes, to grandchildren, but not himself. What's going on here? What is really this about Christian faith? What is really faith? So I kind of wrestle with this. What is this whole thing about? I'm going to show you some more photos. And this time, the photo is not really about, great places you may want to go. It is about great places you went through as parents. If you have children, okay? If you're married, if you have children, some places you've been before, okay? So-called, if you're a parent, you gotta be ready for this scene, okay? So I got plenty, so let's start with this photo. Look at that, huh? Spider-Man, huh? That happens, right? That happens. If you're a parent, that happens. Somehow children want to dig in anywhere he can dig in, right? Next one. How about this one? Oh, piece of art right here, right? Yeah. Oh, look at his eyes. He's so satisfied with his artwork. Next one. You see, art gotta keep moving, even to the living creature, right? Look at that, huh? Now this baby looks a little better than before. Next one. Ooh. The question is she coming out of it or is she going into it? I don't know. But all the parents gotta be ready for this kind of scene, right? Oh, next one. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, this little boy has a superpower. Yeah, next one. Ooh, this family photo, but they couldn't stop fighting, okay? Next one. Ooh, you see what's wrong here in this photo? Yeah. The father face, look at him, he's so happy. Next one. Yeah, while you're asleep, this amazing thing can happen. If your father, maybe he can be grandfather too, I don't know. Next one. Look at that. Gender. It's so minor thing. Being a parent. Next one. Oh, this happens all the time, right? Yeah. Next one. It's like this and me, we were like one. Okay, next one. It's like actually he did it. Ooh, look at that, huh? Yeah, he made his own library there. Next one. Ooh, maybe she wanted a little cotton candy. Couldn't get it. Maybe that's how she. I don't know. Next one. Ah, look at that, huh? Next one. Human swing. That father. I mean, the father looks happy too. Yeah. Next one. Oh, look at that, huh? Next one. We have a puker. Okay, next one. It does happen often, actually, right? Yeah. Next one. Yeah. Okay, road work. Next one. Super daddy, ready for a date. Okay, next one. You see what's wrong here in this photo? Yeah. Next one. Okay, next one. Look at that. Oh, that's beauty, huh? Next one. Oh, that manly father has having a little lunch on that princess table. That's great. That's the last one, right? Yeah. You like the photos? I mean, obviously, if you're a parent, maybe some of you experienced one of, I don't know, a few of those scenes before in your life. But one thing I learned, I found from these photos is this. I saw strong, bold, very clear proclamation of faith of one statement, which is, no matter what, these people called parents not gonna abandon me. You see that? No matter what I do, it doesn't matter how messy I can go. It doesn't really matter, how awful I make their lives. One thing for sure, I have this faith, which is, she's not gonna, this mother, this person called mother, this person called father, not gonna abandon me for this. That's amazing faith, the statement of faith, isn't it? One thing I found from this life of Abraham is this. Obviously, God is saying, go. And Abraham responds, that's amazing, super, awesome. But what's really happening is this. Abraham, he messes up everything. You know what really happens after this story? He went down to Egypt, and then he says, this lady, you may think she's my wife, but she's my sister. That's what he does. He's saying, he's thinking, oh, you know what? I am supposed to get a son, but I don't get any yet. So maybe I'm gonna have one more wife. That's what he does. What's really happening is God is saying, go, go. And he doesn't say to go, I'm gonna see how good you're gonna be. I'll go impress me with your life. That's not faith. If you impress me enough, I'm gonna give you what I promised. That's not Christian faith. What's really happening here is, go, I'm going to walk with you. I'll be with you. I'm not going to abandon you. You're going to disappoint me, but never, ever, I'm going to abandon you. You're not going to be alone, ever. Christian faith, we say here, God is our provider. He gives all the good things. Yes, it is true, but it is a little aspect of the Christian faith. The core part of Christian faith is this. Our God, He loves us, and He is always with us. He always walks with us. Like that amazing faith, proclamation of faith those little kids made with their life right there. My wife, she had this flu a few weeks ago, and somehow she came to a conclusion that she isolate herself from other members of family. So when she said that, I thought she was gonna go somewhere else, like my in-laws place somewhere. I don't know. But she said, I'm gonna isolate myself in this room, and you feed me, and you make sure our children don't contact me. So I'm like, how does it work? And she proved that it actually works. She isolated herself into our master bedroom. It actually has a bathroom attached to it. And what happened is I send her food, and she, whenever she wants to talk to us, she used what is it that the little video chat you do with iPhone? FaceTime. Yeah, she did FaceTime. You see, we're in the same house, but with the FaceTime. Okay? And 3 times a day, I put food beneath the door to her so that make sure she survives. And then leftover, she threw it through the window because we had a deck connect to it. And I collected the leftover from there. So for like, I don't know, 5 to 6 days, she did that. And I did my best to make sure she's alive in there. And after all that, I came to some kind of thinking. I thought, this is amazing. If you think about it, what you do is you just lie down on your bed and do all the things you like to do, watching movie, do internet, all the cool stuff, and you don't do anything. And you get fed 3 times. Isn't it amazing? And you don't have to, play with your children. You don't have to spend time with them. All you do is just lying on your bed, rolling around, do the internet, watching movie, and whenever you need something, you just do this thing, FaceTime, and then say, hey, husband, I need more food. Give me more. I need a snack. Give me more. I thought that was amazing. So like the very last day, I said, okay, now your turn is over. After this, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to spend my 3 days there. It's like, you know what? Lying down on your bed, you get fed 3 times a day, and you do all the internet, watching movie. You know what this is actually called? First class seat. Isn't it? First class seat, right? So I said, you know what? You've got enough first class seat already. So after you're done, this last day, tomorrow I'm going to go in there, you come out, you feed me 3 times a day. I'm going to be in that room. I will enjoy my first class seat experience there for 3 days. So I was excited. It's fair and square, right? So I'm like, yay. And then my wife said something very interesting. She said, you think this is happy being in there in the bedroom, getting fed 3 times a day, do whatever you want to do. You think that's really good stuff for you? But you cannot imagine how painful it is for me not to be able to touch my children after they got back home from school. I want to hold them. I want to embrace them in my arms. I want to touch their faces. I want to tell them, eye to eye, person to person, I love you. I was not able to do that. You know how painful it is not being able to do that as a mother? Isn't it amazing? So I said, no, I want my first class experience. Now you're out. I'm in. We feel like faith is all about getting what we want after putting in investment called faith. Insert the coin, faith, and then God, give me what I want. No, that's not Christian faith. That's not faith. Faith is this. God loves me so much that He will never ever leave me alone. He's gonna walk with me no matter how messy I can become. No matter how difficult my life can come to me. It doesn't really matter how dark I feel in my life. You believe that God is with you. God is with me. He walks with me. Sometimes you're not going to get what you want. Seriously, let me ask you that question. After having that faith, the so-called faith, did you get all the things that you wanted? No. But one thing for sure, if you look back in your life, Every corner of journey of your life, God was there. Every part of your life, even the moment you feel like everything's so dark, there's no way out, God was there. And you believe that. You look back. You have same faith toward the days and future. I've seen that God, even always with me. Maybe in my future days, I may not get what I wanted. That's okay. I believe that you're with me. I'll walk on having that faith. Today's story, God is saying to Abraham, go, go. But you know what? He applied the same thing to himself. Hey, I'm going to go to you, near you. That's how Christ happened in our lives. He's not a type of God just away from us, distant from us, saying, hey, impress me. If you impress me enough, I'll give you what you want. No. He's saying, I want to be near you. I want to touch you. I want to embrace you. I want to hold you. I want you to know that I am near you. I'll be walking with you all the time. And I want you to believe that I am your God. When we realize that amazing miracle of cross, that grace, he so wanted to be with us. He didn't mind getting tortured, getting murdered, saying, I believe that. I believe that. You walk with me. I'll walk with you. That's called faith. That is called faith. Let's pray. This time, as we pray, I want you to look in your life. Look back, maybe. Maybe there's some things hanging in your life, making your life feel heavier, darker, just a little stuffier. Maybe things you want in your life not really happening. And we say, God, where are you? I want to see you in this problem. I want you to work in this problem, this part of my life. I want you to reflect. I want you to listen to what God is whispering to your heart right now. He always whispers to our hearts, I am with you. I'll walk with you. I know things may not look that bright to you right now. Maybe you feel like I'm not a type of God who gets you whatever you want. But that's not really about this relationship. This relationship I have with you, this relationship that's called faith, is about my presence with you. Even in the times when you feel like there's no way out. So as you have this time of prayer, I want you to have this conversation with Him. God, help me to believe. Help me to see that you're with me. Help me to get new strength, new encouraging from that. Because looking back in my life, you've been always there for me. Let's pray.